Hello, good afternoon to you. Welcome to Hard Factor 92.3 Nigeria Info and Hearing Port Harcourt. I'm Dio. 13 minutes gone past 3 p.m. From now all the way till 7, discussion continues on the show. You're welcome once again. Thanks for joining in. And I hope you've had a fine day today thus far. I hope it gets even better, till the end, whenever the day ends for you, that is. But welcome once again. A few matters are up for discussion on the show today, as always. So let's see, starting from just about now or shortly, today's side comments, random stories, and random thoughts of mine, which will not be discussed at this time, of course, until much later on, during the open season segment that comes about to the major news at 6 p.m. So after the side comments, I have a round coming up, as always, something on my mind, be expressing some thoughts in it. I'd like to get your take of mine till 4 p.m. features the business news, and let's see what's about to done. Well, yeah, did we learn anything from hashtag NSAS? Did we learn anything from it? Did we? I mean, it's been about a year since the hashtag NSAS protest. As a country, as a nation, as a people, have we learned anything? Got a story here from Premium Times. The NBA is convinced we haven't, and this story is captioned hashtag NSAS Memorial Protest. Nigeria has not learned any lesson, as according to the NBA and Oke Odumaki. Now, the Nigerian Bar Association has expressed regrets that the nation has not learned its lessons from last year's hashtag NSAS protest, condemning the crackdown on peaceful demonstrators commemorating the first year anniversary of the historic event on Wednesday. Olumide Apata, the association's president, said this in a commemorative statement describing the protest as an epochal moment in the relations between the Nigerian state and her citizens. He said a crackdown on peaceful protesters and journalists covering the memorial protest on Wednesday at Lekki Tollgate in Lagos, where soldiers had opened fire on peaceful demonstrators exactly 1 year ago, showed Nigeria had yet to learn any lesson. Quote, "It is regrettable that on the occasion of the anniversary of such a symbolic moment in our nation's history, we do not appear to have learned our lessons, as symbolized by the arrest and detention of peaceful protesters exercising their fundamental human rights and journalists going about their lawful duties at the Lekki Toll Plaza this morning," he said. In a separate statement, activist Joe Oke Odumaki remembered all the young Nigerians killed or maimed during the hashtag NSAS protest 1 year ago in bizarre circumstances. So, once again, the NBA says 1 year after, we haven't learned anything as a nation from the hashtag NSAS protest. Is that the case, really? Did we learn anything as a nation? Did we pick up anything? Have we made any progress, any improvements since October 2020? I'll be speaking with two lawyers on the subject matter today, Barrister Richard Wokocha and Barrister Festus Oguche. Join me for that conversation in the 4 o'clock hour. That takes us to 5. We got the news updated 5 p.m. after that. What's in a name? Should bandits be named terrorists? Now, you might be familiar with that other saying, or there is a popular saying, what's in a name? Now, who knows, who can complete that statement or that saying? What's in a name? Let's do this quickly via WhatsApp on 0809 030 6416. What's in a name? Dash, 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 dash. Can someone complete that? What's in a name? It's a saying, it's kind of popular as well, actually. What's in a name? Who can complete that for me? Let's do it quickly, please. Via WhatsApp on 0809 030 6416. No googling. Do not Google this. Okay. Do not Google this at all. What's in a name? Who knows? So, does it matter what the bandits are called? Does it matter what name we refer to them as? Because no, this is the story that's inspired that conversation as well. It's a story from the Vanguard. El Rufai begs FG to declare bandits terrorists. Yeah, as gunmen wreak havoc on Kaduna. Yeah. Now, Governor Nasir El Rufai of Kaduna State has called on the federal government to declare bandits as terrorists to allow the Nigerian military deal with them according to international law. This came as no fewer than 343 persons were killed from July to September 2021 in Kaduna State, while 830 others were kidnapped. The governor spoke yesterday at the presentation of the Kaduna State Security Incident Report for third quarter 2021, saying, quote, "We in the Kaduna State government have always aligned with the declaration of bandits as insurgents and terrorists." So does it matter what name we call them? Should they be named terrorists? Do you agree with the governor? Once again, does the appellation, that they're referred to as, of what consequence is that really? I'd like to get you all taking that in the 5 o'clock hour after the news update. Headlines 5:30 and major news at 6 p.m. And after the open season is up after that, if you missed out on any matter discussed on the show, I'll take your thoughts during that period till about 7 o'clock, I suppose. Yeah, when we wrap up the discussions. I think that's it. Yeah, so what's in a name? What's in a name? Before I move on, can anyone complete that statement? Let's see, do I have any... let's see, do I have any responses to that, or correct responses more precisely? Okay, this one goes, "We call a rose by any other name will smell as sweet." It means that calling them a terrorist is synonymous to what they are doing. Oh, that's not correct. That's not the right one. What's in a name? That which you call a rose by any other name would smell just as sweet. Yep, I think that's correct. That's Pascal from Choba. Pascal called that right. What's in the name? Even okay, no, that's not correct. What's in a name? Okay, all right. Anyway, so this is it. What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell just as sweet. All right. So if you called a rose a spoon, by the way, a rose would not suddenly become metallic and would have a metallic smell. No, it would still smell like a rose would. If you called a rose a shoe, for example, it doesn't mean that it would now smell or feel like a shoe. It will still look like a rose. It will still smell like a rose. So hence the saying, what's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell just as sweet. Does it matter what we call these guys then, bandits or terrorists? Anyways, I'll get your take on that in the 5 o'clock hour. And pretty much that's the show today. Open season after 6 o'clock, or major news rather, till about 7. The sports gang will be by 7 for extra time. I hope you enjoyed the Premier League games, or pardon me, the Champions League games from last night. It was quite a stunning comeback from Manchester United. Really great game last night. Well, Ronaldo proving that all the hype is not just hype, actually, and he's definitely was all of it. As Manchester United and Old Trafford came back from 2 goals down, and 2 goals, by the way, in the first half, 0-2. That's how the first half ended. Remarkable stuff. Marcus Rashford began the comeback in the 53rd minute. Harry Maguire, surprise, calamity defender, if you ask me. Well, in the 75th minute, he leveled things up, and Cristiano Ronaldo, at the 81st minute, classic signature header to take Man U top with 3 goals to Atalanta's 2, and that's how the game ended, with Man U getting all 3 points. I confess, somewhat unexpectedly, really, on the night, and that's how it ended. Anyways, more games tonight in the Europa League. Catch all the action with the Sports Gang from 7 o'clock. So let's see. Let's move on with today's show then. Today's side comments, random stories, random thoughts, which will not be discussed now, of course. So possibly much later on. And let's see. I got a comment here via WhatsApp just a while ago, just a minute or 2 ago. And it goes, I think it's Emmanuel Uzodima from years ago. And the task force has returned. The guys are everywhere, seizing trucks and cars and parking them at Eliozu Junction. Okay, so to the authorities, to the River State government, that more often than not does not know these things, and that's why we're here to help government know the things that government never seems to know. The task force guys are up to it again. Yes, they are up to it again. I think you may have caught this in our news as well. It was on the news yesterday, and I think it was on our bulletin today as well. Just a moment. I'm going to get that shortly. A resident of Port Harcourt has narrated how officials of the River State Task Force on Illegal Street Trading and Motor Park seized his vehicle, demanding 45,000 naira. He told our correspondent that they jumped into his vehicle around Rumola Junction, demanding that he provide his ticket. He said he drove off with his car despite telling them that he's not a commercial driver. The resident said the incident happened while he was on his way to work. Let's hear what this man, this Port Harcourt resident, had to say about this development.
Somebody just jumped into my car. He said that, where is my ticket? I said, this is just a private. I have this thing, all the papers here, they are here, my vehicle. The other one now took my key. So they now said I should enter their vehicle. I said, for what? They refused to tell me. All I heard was that, how much will you give us? Getting to US, that was where they dropped me. That was where they said their office is. I met one man like that. He said that he's their head. They said they are wicked task force. I said, please, can you tell me my offense? Again, he said that I should pay 45,000 naira.
I spoke with the man earlier today. I tried to get him to do an interview on the show today, and he initially agreed, only to call me back afterwards. And I remember asking him several times, are you sure you want to do this interview? Because my experience is, I reach out to people, and I say who have experienced maybe something like this or something similar to this, and I ask them, do you want to do an interview? And they say yes, and then it's time for the interview and they don't show up, and all of a sudden I call them, they're not taking the course any longer. It's happened several times. I called him, and I asked him, are you sure you want to do it? He said yes, but he doesn't want his name mentioned. I asked why. He goes, it's our country, the way everything is in our state. I go, come on, let's have this conversation. He agrees, then he calls me back afterwards and gives me some excuse. Suddenly he's called for some job something, and he can't make it any longer. Well, remarkable, really. And maybe he's telling the truth. Maybe he was called for a job someplace. But I think it's about time, it's way past time actually, that Nigerians realize that nobody's going to do this for you. You have to stand up. You have to stand up and defend yourself. You have to rise up. You can't even speak up for yourself. Who's going to speak up for you? Nobody's going to do the job for you. You have to do it yourself. It's a personal responsibility. Yes, the media will do what the media can do, but you also have a responsibility. You have a role to. We all have roles to play, actually. And until a sizable number of us play our roles, we're not going to. Nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to give. Anyways, so back to the authorities, because they will not know. They never know. And then if we reach out to the person in charge of the task force, he will tell us he does not know. He didn't send them. It's wrong. If we call on some government official, oh, they didn't send them to do that, it's wrong. Oh, they are not their boys, they didn't send them. Well, they are doing it. It's going on. So do something about it. For crying out loud, do something about it. Government is not just there to build flyovers. Government is there to also protect lives and property. And yes, the governor of the state might not be in charge of the police. Of course, he's not in charge when it suits government's narrative. But this has nothing to do with the police. These are officials of the River State Task Force. So let's do something about it. Let's see, what has caught my attention earlier on today. A part of the Koronode flyover in Port Harcourt was blocked this morning for repairs about 7 months after it was commissioned. Road users coming from the Eliozu axis of Rumokoro are forced to use alternative routes it caused traffic in the area. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe this is all. Every government has its own strategy, its own plan. For development, for empowerment and job creation. Job creation is very key. They say unemployment in Nigeria is very high now, and unemployment in Rivers State is kind of high as well. So maybe this is a plan. So to those who are complaining that just some months after the Okoro Nuodu, formerly I think Rumokoro flyover, was commissioned, it's already been repaired, and they're wondering what the heck is going on. Allegedly, the facts are not clear about this. I don't have all the details yet, but allegedly, it just might be, reportedly, supposedly, it just might be an empowerment program, an empowerment job creation scheme for revolving contracts. Once we have, because one of the River State government has repeatedly said that one of its job creation policies or plans is flyover constructions, because when flyovers are being constructed, people are engaged to do something or the other. So people are engaged, people are busy during that time. So if the flyovers, if we're done constructing all the flyovers, the people are going to become jobless. So that we have to keep creating these jobs for them by revolving contracts, the flyovers. You understand? So we allegedly, supposedly, but not factually, maybe, we can't ensure the flyovers are perfect or built to standard. Potholes have to be there every now and then. There has to be something to be fixed. So there'll be revolving contracts. And when there's revolving contract, people are engaged. You see? I mean, you have to give it up to the government, allegedly, assuming this is the case. Job creation. And we all need jobs now, don't we? So all the roads we're fixing right now, the flyovers are constructing, we have to ensure that our teeming youths will be engaged. You understand? So when the flyovers get bad, or when portals appear here and there, contracts will be awarded, our teeming youths will be engaged. This is the part where you stand up and give a round of applause, really. I mean, it's just incredible. It's ingenious. It's ingenious. I mean, it's ingenious if that's the policy, actually. It's just brilliant, It's brilliant, actually. If you think about it, really, it's brilliant. So, what else got my attention today? Let's see. The trial of prescribed IPOB leader Kano resumed today, and of course there was some drama at the High Court in Abuja, with some persons, Shawari and others, being attacked by some hoodlums. But let's not go into that. But for me, the most important thing about the trial of Nnamdi Kanu is that justice is served. And not just that justice is served, but justice is seen to be served as well. I hope the matter receives expedited hearing. I hope that he gets justice, he gets fair hearing. If something has been done wrong, the appropriate punishment will be meted out. If he's not done anything wrong, he should be released unconditionally as soon as possible. But of course, I'm sure not just Nigerians, but the whole world will keep an eye on that situation. And yes, anyways, I think I'm going to wrap up the side comment on that note. I think so. Or did I miss anything else? I'm not sure I missed out anything else. I think that's just about it. Yeah. I think that's it, really. Okay. All right. So I think that's it for today's side comment. I'll go for a break right now. When I return, I've got a round coming up. Do please stay tuned.
Information is a two-way thing. Nigeria Info, it's your turn. Let's talk.
We give the facts.
News entirely.
We give the evidence. Just to keep you informed.
News, weather.
I get my information top of the hour every hour.
92.3 Nigeria Info. And now, hard facts. Hard facts with Diode.
Okay, back. Still hard fact to Nigeria Info here in Port Harcourt. I'm Dio. And I'd like to rant for just a bit. I've got something in my mind. I've expressed some thoughts on it, and I'd like to get your take on mine till 4 p.m. But before then, I got this comment via WhatsApp. The flyover is closed for structural testing. You know, this administration is so concerned about meeting global standards. That's Valentine from Igboeche. That could also be the reason for the closure today. Structural testing, the kind of structural testing that was given to the NLC Secretariat in Rivers State a couple of months, or was it some months or a couple of years ago or so? Yeah, maybe that kind of structural testing. Anyways, on to today's rant. Something in my mind. Oh, absolutely. It's like a curse, really. There's always something in my mind. So let's see. Now, today's rant isn't primarily about the police. No, it's not. You know, I mean, I'm sure that some persons, especially police officers, have a major beef with me about that. But just calm down, okay? Cool your socks. My rant today isn't primarily about you. The story concerns a police officer. Yes, I'm gonna put that up front. You know, yeah. But it's not about the police. I'm not doing any police bashing today. And by the way, I don't consider it. When I criticize the police, I don't consider it police bashing. It's reporting and talking about the obvious, expressing my opinions in it, and suggesting, you know, in effect, how we can do things better, you know. And I'm quite certain there's not very much, if anything at all, wrong with that. Now that said, disclaimer once again: today's rant is not primarily about the police, even though the story that's inspired today's rant involves a police officer, and it's about the misconduct of a police officer. But for me, it's simply that this one incident is simply an example of what's wrong with this country, really. How that things that shouldn't even be heard of, how dysfunctional a system it is we are running in this country, how that things that shouldn't even form the basis of any conversation are things that we're discussing, things that make absolutely no sense. You know, things that shouldn't even be imagined are the things that form matters of national discourse and you know, become our polity, our culture, even, if you will, in this country. Now here's the story. Courtesy Premium Times. Police probe officer caught voting in Kano APC Congress. In case you didn't hear it very well, here it is again. Police probe officer caught voting in Kano APC Congress. Yes, you heard right. Now, here's the story. The Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 1, Abubakar Bello, has ordered an investigation into a police officer caught on camera voting at the State Congress of the All Progressives Congress in Kano. Yes, a police officer was voting at the political party's Congress, dressed in his full police regalia, in his uniform. Now, the police spokesperson for the zone, Abubakar Zayanu, identified the officer as Bashir Mohammed, attached to Kano Government House. The police officer was caught voting at the Congress, which took place at Sani Abacha Indoor Stadium at Kofa Mata. The spokesperson said the AIG has referred the matter to the Zonal X squad for investigation. The statement said the officer was attached to Government House Kano, from where he was to work with the then State Caretaker Committee chairperson of the APC, Abdullahi Abbas, who was elected state chairman of the APC at the Congress. So the police deployed him to the Kano government house, and then somebody at the Kano state government house decided that the political party's chairman needed a police orderly or something like that, and then further reassigned him. Remarkable stuff. Now, the police said the appropriate disciplinary measures will be taken against the officer if found wanting, adding that further development of the matter would be communicated to members of the public. Now, the fact of the matter is, in my estimation, it seemed like this should not happen. How can a police officer be seen casting a vote at a political party's Congress? I can't even understand how a thing like this can happen. I'm really, and I know that we've seen many scenes. We've been through a lot of things in this country. Oh, we've seen a lot. We have, and you would think that by now nothing should be able to shock us, right? Nothing should shock me. And I mean, we've seen quite a bit, but when you're sure, when you're certain that you've seen it all, when you're certain that, oh no, man, come on, we can't possibly go lower than this, can we? Somebody somewhere, one honorable, some excellency, some youth group, disgruntled youths, I don't know, some concerned citizens, well-meaning citizens, some agents of government, some police officer will whip an ace, just whip it out from this league, and tell you and prove to you that you ain't seen nothing yet. You haven't seen the worst. It's almost like there is a competition in Nigeria, an unofficial competition, as to who can do the most ridiculous thing. Who can do the most dysfunctional thing? Who can cause the mouths of about 200 million Nigerians to just open up such that they are unable to close it any longer? Who can create the biggest shock factor, the biggest shock effect? I don't know what the prize is going to be. I don't know if there's a prize for it, but it's almost like there's a competition going on, because the things that happen in this country are things that shouldn't even be discussed at all. How can a police officer in his uniform be seen voting at the APC, a political party's Congress? How? How does one explain that? How? We can't say it was photoshopped, even though I'm sure that could be someone's explanation. That it was photoshopped. Or was he quoted out of context? I don't understand. But we're not in good times right now. We're not. There are too many dysfunctions in our society. Too many dysfunctions. And we must, and to change that narrative, we cannot continue to live in a society where the dysfunctional things are becoming the right things. And if you're thinking straight, you're perceived to be the dysfunctional one. In a society where we stand logic on its head. But it's important that we all come to this realization, that we understand it, that we are living in a dysfunctional society. It's dysfunctional. The way that people in government act, the things that they say, the things that they do, it's just dysfunctional. It's not normal eye. Something is definitely wrong someplace. Something is fundamentally wrong. And we can't afford to remain satisfied with this dysfunctional system and this functional state of things. Something's got to give. We need to keep pushing out that wall till this dysfunctional wall caves in and collapses eventually. And that's my rant today. Thanks for listening. I hope you weren't bored. Now, here's what I'd like for you to do. As you join the conversation right now, you're welcome to this. So my lines are open. Call 0817 923 0002 or 0003 or 0007. I'd like for you to tell me very briefly, some other dysfunctional thing that you've observed in our society. Let's talk dysfunctions in the Nigerian society today. Dysfunctions. Tell me something dysfunctional, the most dysfunctional thing possibly that you've observed or witnessed or seen or even heard of at the Nigerian system, in Nigerian polity. That's what I want to hear from you for the purpose of this conversation. I hope you got that. Very important. Please note what I'd like for us to discuss. All right, call in. We're live on facebook.com/Nigeria InfoPH. WhatsApp is on 0809 030 We're also live on YouTube. Search for Nigeria InfoPH on YouTube. Hello, Hard Fact, you're welcome. Godwin from Romajuru High, go ahead. Hello, Godwin, go on.
Yeah, you have started again, Dio. You have been sponsored by opposition party. Opposition party have sponsored you again.
Oh, well.
How can you be exposing us? You have been sponsored.
I didn't expose it. The story was in the Premium Times. I simply read what on the Premium Times.
Yes. Even at that, you have been sponsored. Well. In a country where abnormality has become normal, that's what you see. When they keep promising us this, promising us that.
So Godwin, I'd like to hear an example of something truly abnormal, something dysfunctional, truly dysfunctional that you've experienced.
Very, very dysfunctional.
Yes.
That's what we expect.
Okay, Godwin, give it some thought. Maybe call back if you can. All right. So let's see. Once again, I want to hear something truly dysfunctional. Truly dysfunctional. Marcy from I1, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Hello, Matthew.
This
Oh my goodness, Matthew.
Yes.
I'm not hearing you clearly.
Can you hear me right now?
I think it's better. Go ahead.
Okay. The one I want to speak dysfunctional is where swallow money.
Oh, that was something. Yeah, that was something. Oh yeah, that was a good one. That was a very, very good one. I think we got that story more than once of animals swallowing money. Wow, that was something. Ike from NTO, you're welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon, Dario.
Hello, Ike, go ahead.
One of the dysfunctional stuff, just like the conversation is put, is imagine the wife of a local government chairman with a police orderly in uniform, washing the woman's car and escorting the woman to the market.
Wow.
Carrying her bag. And this sack bag containing food items that were bought from the market.
Tomatoes and pepper.
To the woman's car, opening the boot, just virtually serving the woman in Nigeria police uniform.
He's the houseboy.
That's one of the things I've also observed.
The officer became the houseboy. Apparently, because the houseboys are the ones that wash cars and they go with madame to the market while they are holding madame's grocery bag or market bag, so that when she buys pepper and tomatoes and onions and the market woman wraps it up, she will take it and then drop it in the bag that officer in charge is carrying. Policemen have become houseboys. The same policemen that will be slapping people and beating young boys on the roads for doing absolutely nothing, when they get to a gas place, they become houseboys. Daniel from Transmadi, welcome, go on.
Good afternoon, Dayo.
Hi, go ahead, Dan.
Dayo, what will I say when the president said that president have told you people to step down, that you don't need to blow these things out of proportion? Media house should step it down. Dayo, just imagine police giving out, they collect change. This is the one I see. They collect change and they collect money and give you change.
Change?
Yes, they give you change. The bus drivers, they do it openly.
Wow.
So it's not really okay. It's completely dysfunctional. The country cannot run like this.
All right, Dan. Thank you for that one. The police now give change. So when you get to a checkpoint, I say, I'll find something. Find something. 100 naira. I say, officer, I don't have change. I have 1,000. What I have is 1,000 naira. You say you can't drop 1,000. Officer, I have to buy food now. I have to buy. Oh yeah, bring change there. How much change do you want? There's change here. If you want 500, if you want 600, if you want what? Do you need 50 naira? In case you want 20 naira, there's 20 naira also. If you want change, I got Francis from Waterloo Road. Francis, welcome. Go on.
All right.
Good afternoon, Dio.
Hello.
We are talking dysfunctional things.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. With the deplorable state of our our public schools, in River State, deplorable state of public schools. The same Ministry of Education who are meant to manage these deplorable schools are the ones creating standards for private schools. And define them as schools.
That's something. Yeah. Very soon, you're going to hear the Ministry of Education, for example, in River State here, talking about how schools must be this, how schools must have this the size of compound, how they must have this, how they must have that. Meanwhile, we have public schools.
And the public schools are nothing compared. It's a total opposite.
Oh, that's dysfunctional. Yeah,
of
man.
What they're saying.
Really
dysfunctional.
Absolutely. Francis, thank you for that one. We're going to have the Ministry of Education official press statement from the Commissioner's office about how private schools must do this. They must be. The government is trying to standards. The government is trying to enforce standards. We will not accept. We will not accept any mushroom arrangement. We want the private schools to maintain standards. That's why we are here. So they'll maintain standards. But in our public schools, they have no roofs. They have no windows. They have no chairs. What is the standard over there? Dysfunctional. Who's the man from Iluzu? You're welcome.
Good afternoon, Dayo.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Dayo, policemen giving change is an understatement. They make change.
What do you mean? They make change?
Taxi drivers, they need change to run their business.
Mm-hmm.
So most times they rely on our police officers to get some of those change they use.
Mm.
They have their, at a fee, not for free.
Mm.
They pay something extra to get, let's assume you need 50 naira. They will give you 1,050 naira. They will give you 950 naira. Right. Why you give them 1,000 naira? That's the extent of the rob.
Multiple streams of income, Uzama.
Sorry?
Multiple streams of income.
Exactly. Exactly. Another added business. They collect.
Side hustle.
Hello?
As I said, side hustle.
It's terrible, that.
Yeah, terrible indeed.
Terrible. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Kennedy from Elime, you're welcome as well. Go on.
Thank you very much. I think there are a lot of them, but the issue of bullfire, those carrying bullfire from one point to another, the way they relate with Nigeria police, like it's even very easy to move a gun from one point to another than carrying a bullfire. All you have to do is to just give them 100 naira. I saw someone with a bullfire on a bike. What they usually do is just, as they are approaching the police, they will fold their hands and throw the money on the ground. Then sometimes breeze will blow the money. You see the police chasing the money on the ground. 100 naira. Just like that. They allow them pass, as in they know the point where they get the bullfire, or they after their 100 naira. Is that not abnormal?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Canada. We keep talking about old bunkering. We talk about artisanal refining, but people know where the bunkering is taking place. People know where the artisanal refining is taking place. Reportedly, allegedly, security officials know. Security officials even provide them escorts. Like the last caller just said, sometimes they even throw 100 naira at them. Dysfunctional. Why? What's up? Where a 60-year-old man is a youth leader, where a man is the commissioner of women affairs, where police will see innocent citizens and arrest them, and see criminals and take off on their heels. Wow, truly dysfunctional. Good afternoon, Doc. Going to school from the womb is the highest, if you ask me. We have kids shout lie about this, but the consumer elders, that man should win the competition if there is one. Well, that was something. That was something. Remember some fellow who got confirmed to a position recently by the Senate, whose documents show that he started attending primary school before he was born. Remarkable stuff indeed. To rehabilitate terrorists and tag them as repentant is another dysfunctional thing that happens in Nigeria. Udom Friday Saturday, yeah, where you see so-called repentant terrorists with conflicts and noodles in front of them. Really. You know, the most dysfunctional thing I heard is a Nigerian man who started school before he was born. Very unfortunate development indeed. Samuel from Rumigbo. There are so many dysfunctional situations in this country. One is that when you go to any police checkpoints, it's always look like a waste dump site, later with all kinds and colors of pure water bags and other waste. That policeman voting only went there to vote for his boss because his boss came in a wheelchair. Oh, okay. Fine, what's up? Still, a gallant officer has been living in a neighbor's 2-bedroom apartment and has refused to pay for 3 years now. They've been begging him to quit without paying what is owing. He refused. They don't know what will happen if they go to court. Now the landlord's wife is asking her prayers to make it a prayer point. For the gallant officer's name is okay. I won't read his name out, but dysfunctional indeed. Truly dysfunctional. Something dysfunctional I've noticed in our society is a situation where WAEC invigilators give answers to WAEC candidates at the exam hall. Again, a situation where the military is helping to secure Paul Fire. Festus Kinsley from Port Harcourt Centerton. Yeah. Invigilators are the ones saying that if you don't pay, I mean, it's not. they don't just give you the option of engaging in malpractice. If you don't want to engage in malpractice, they hate you and they want you to fail. I mean, it's one thing to say, if you want to engage in malpractice, pay a certain amount, we'll put you in a special class and that's fine, right? It's not good, but okay. So anybody who wants to work hard for themselves, leave them alone. But no, our vigilators will want to punish those that want to do the exams by themselves. They have to be punished. How dare you say you want to read? You studied for exam and you don't want to engage in malpractice. What kind of stupid students are you? You want to don't worry, we'll see now. We'll see. Dysfunctional. Dysfunctional society. I noticed almost all houses in Nigeria have burglary proof. It's like living in a cage. What are they for? Like other countries, that's on John. Yeah, you have to protect yourself, John. Yeah, how to protect yourself. Dysfunctional. These days, you will have to protect yourself against our gallant officers also. It's dysfunctional. The most dysfunctional thing in Nigerian society is that Nigeria produces crude oil, then exports it to refine, then imports PMS, LPG, kerosene. It's incredible. Dysfunctional. Dysfunctional. We've got the crude oil here. We've got the gas. We've got the natural gas here. And price of LPG is soaring. It's astronomical right now. But we have the gas. We've got the natural gas here. We're flaring it, and God knows what we're doing with the rest. We've got the gas here. We've got the crude oil here. Dysfunctional. 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 Have you seen a gallant officer with a rifle drinking alcohol in a beer parlor while guarding Oga? That's a Michael Brown. Dysfunctional. Dysfunctional. You just turn around and it's just. Sometimes I just want to go insane, you know. Dysfunctional society. Dysfunctional. When you ask questions, why what's the meaning of all this? Why are you dysfunctional? Dysfunctions everywhere. It's remarkable. But we can change the narrative. We can. Unless those persons who still have proper brains, whose brains are still working, you can change the narrative. And let's do that. Let's do that. 4 p.m. Business news comes up. Discussion continues afterwards. Have we learned anything since the NSAS protest? 2 lawyers join me for that. Please stay with us.